And to join me to talk about it, I have got Mo, I have got Scott returning, and I've also got Adam McKola. What's happening, fellas?
Hello.
Is everybody
Good
excited?
things only,
Is everybody
mate. Good things only.
Listen, Nuggets, Champions League back. Is everyone on it or what? I'm absolutely buzzing for this. And not only this
I
as
think
well.
we're all still a bit, we're all still a bit singed from last night when that certain fella was on fire. You know what I mean?
1-0, Will Green got the ticks. Come on!
Right, and also, as well, for those of us that aren't going to Sevilla, the under-19s are playing against Liverpool in the Youth Cup, which is the Youth League, which is essentially the under-19 equivalent of the Champions League. So if you are about, come and check us out for that one. So you?
That was me.
Yeah. Talk about it. Shut up. Right, so there's a few things we're going to talk about, including Start 11 predictions and what we know about Sevilla. Well, first thing we're going to get into today is the Champions League Jose Mourinho's main target? Mo, I'm going to come to you first. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's got to be, hasn't it? I mean, the FA Cup needs to take a bit of focus now that City have been knocked out, and it's kind of between United and Spurs, really. So
Have they? They got
yeah,
knocked out.
but the Champions League is the big one. I mean, you could argue really as far back as even the winter break, it was obvious that United weren't going to win the league. So the Champions League really should come into focus. Mourinho loves a good knockout run of competitions. His kind of boring defensive football is actually really well suited for the Champions League if he can get the right moments. He's got Alexis Sanchez, and he's got a genuine game changer for the big moments, for the big games. So yeah, it's got to be the focus. You've got to put all your eggs in that basket. I don't want to say ditch the league because you still want to finish high in the league, but the league is not the priority now. That's gone. City are going to win it. Just do enough to stay second. Focus on the Champions League.
Scott, is there actually any realistic way we can win the Champions League, or are we just deluding ourselves?
Well, yeah, I mean, just look at Mourinho. He won it with Porto. He won it with Inter. Yeah, we can defensively win it. I mean, it's got, like I said, it has to be our priority. Absolutely. I mean, yes, the FA Cup, we've got more of a chance of winning that, but the priority should be the league and the Champions League with Manchester United. And yeah, I'm quietly confident, just quietly confident. I just think on our day with Mourinho's tactics, with the players that we have, I think we can do it. Just depends what the kind of draw that we get, but we need a very good draw. We need a lot of luck, and but yeah, of course we can win it. Why not?
Well, I'd be a lot more confident going into this, thinking that we could do it if we'd had put in more ambitious performances against some of the bigger teams that we faced this season. Adam, can we shithouse our way to winning this? And is it the only way that we can really usurp City? City are having this incredible season, but we absolutely put the lid on this, don't we? If we manage to beat them to get in the Champions League.
I think when people look at the Champions League winning sides that Mourinho had in the past, they were league winning sides as well, and that's the only thing that puts a little bit of a dent in that. Because when you're a league winning side, you already have the mentality that we belong here, we should be winning this competition, and you already have that confidence of just winning. At the moment, going into this Sevilla game, because of our results against Newcastle and Spurs, I'm feeling a little bit wary about this match. Whereas if we were top of the league, winning the league and winning all our league games, you're always going into these games full of confidence. And I just feel like when you win the league, it sets everything up right elsewhere. But having said that, when you look at Manchester United's team, when you look at the 11, when you look at the squad, some of the players, we've got Pogba, Alexis, Lukaku, Martial, Rashford, etc. Jesse Lingard loves a goal in crucial games. You look at the players that we've got, you look at the manager that we've got, you look at Old Trafford. Now, I know that the atmosphere hasn't been great this season overall, but on a European night when we needed most, we will turn up. And you look at all those things and you think we have the ingredients to pull off a shock and win the Champions League this season, but I'm not counting on it. This game is still a very difficult game, and that's why I don't think we can look at that just yet. Let's just relax. But I think if we get through this, get into the last 8, we can start looking at things like, all right, let's take this seriously a little bit. But I think it has to be the competition. It's more likely than the Premier League. It's a bigger trophy than anything else we're playing for. So I think we should kind of treat it with a priority without tossing off the league.
I think if you look at the teams that could potentially go out, Barcelona or Chelsea, PSG or Real Madrid, some of the big teams are going to be out of this competition as well. So, it just depends on who, if we get through this tie, who we get next.
Yeah, it's about the luck of the draw. Like if Chelsea knock out Barcelona, that's a real big bonus for United. If someone managed to knock off City, that's a big bonus for Man United. And you look at Real Madrid, they're going to pick up speed. So if PSG manage to knock them off, PSG are going to bottle it at some point. You know that. So if PSG can knock off Real Madrid now, that's going to help United out. Yeah, a lot of things need to go United's way, but you just never know. Mourinho's won the Champions League with a less talented team before. If Bailey can stay fit, that's another thing we have to say. If Bailey can stay fit at the back, because God, everyone else is terrible. If he can stay fit at the back, United have with him and De Gea. United, it's a small chance. It's very small, but it is there. It's there.
So, okay, Bayer and De Gea at the back, that's going to make a huge difference.
What we're saying is we're winning the Champions League.
Absolutely. But at the other end of the pitch, we've got a man that has been much maligned all season, but he's now on 20 goals. Can Lukaku make a massive difference? 21. He's over 20 goals. Can Lukaku make a massive difference on the running? And will that be the opportunity for him to really silence the doubters by turning up in these big games and winning games for United in the knockout stages of the Champions League starting this week? Mo, what do you reckon?
Look, it's a chance, but it's not all up to him, right? As much as weird as that sounds, he's a brilliant striker. We know it. He's not necessarily, the greatest in the world, not even top 5, but he's really, really good. The thing with Lukaku, his weakness, if you will, is that he's playing in a team that isn't really interested in getting him too many chances. Everyone's comparing him to Harry Kane because before the start of the season, they were seen as, okay, Lukaku's made this big move. Now he can compete with Kane on a level footing sort of thing. And Kane is obviously having a storming season, and Lukaku's got 12 league goals. Kane's got 23. But you look at the shots, right? Harry Kane has had more shots from just inside the penalty box, 76, than Lukaku's had in total, 71. Harry Kane in total has had 150 shots. That's literally more than twice as many as Lukaku. Right now, for that return, he's got 11 more goals, and that's great, right? Kane has been amazing. But the point is, Lukaku's not really getting the service. Sometimes, okay, he hesitates when he should shoot, and he makes the wrong choices, and sometimes he doesn't use his. I mean, everyone always praises his physicality, but he doesn't really use his physicality as much as he should do, frankly. But if he's provided the service, as we saw at the weekend, I mean, okay, FA Cup, but we saw if you provide him with the service, you get him the ball in good positions, he can do the business for you. But if you're just going to hoof it long to him and ask him to hold it up and feed into others, sometimes it might work, like with when the assist to Martial, which was really good. But sometimes he's just going to be isolated. He's not going to touch the ball. So it all depends. Lukaku can do the business. It all depends on if Mourinho's tactics are going to provide him with the platform to do the business.
You're right. I think if you did give him 80 more shots in the course of the season we've already had, 80 more shots, would he have scored 10 or 11 more goals? I think it's quite fair to say he probably would have.
I mean, at least 5 or 6,
Scott, what's your thoughts? Do you think he's going to end up on 30? We did discuss this in full-time review yesterday in a bit more depth, so if you want to check that out, make sure you go and check that out. But Scott, what do you reckon? Where's he going to end up? Is he going to end up on 30, 35? What's your thoughts?
Well, we discussed this earlier on in the season. I remember us calling him a flop. That was the debate at the time.
Hold on, who's us? Don't drag me into this.
Pretty sure you were there, young man. Pretty sure you were there, young man.
I wasn't there.
No, I remember at the time we were just saying it's silly, it's too early. I mean, my issue at the time with Lukaku was his ability to control the ball, and his ball control's improved so much. We must be taking Viagra or something. But joking aside, he's clearly worked on it. He's worked with the coaching staff, and that's a stupid thing to say. He's clearly worked with the coaching staff. And remember, this guy hasn't peaked. He's going to be ferocious in a couple of years. I mean, the guy is an absolute beast up front, and I love him. I really do. I think he's a classic striker. And he's basically, for me, it just means we don't have to buy anyone for a few years, especially with Rashford and Martial. So, no, I'm delighted with him. He could end up on really whatever he wants. But this was the argument with Ibrahimovic last year. If he scored 10% more of his chances, he would have, 50, 60 goals. So it's the kind of quality chances that we are creating, Lukaku, and the guy is, like I say, he's a machine. Love him, absolutely love him. He could be the difference in this competition.
Adam, do you think he's getting the credit he deserves for the movement that he's got? Because I see a lot of people really downplaying the other side and the other aspects of his game, but if you look at how he's brought others into play. Like Lingard has scored double figures, Rashford's in double figures, Martial's double figures. All of these players are scoring an insane amount of goals that they didn't get last year when Zlatan was leading the line.
I think in recent weeks as well. So like at the start of the season, he was scoring and his all-round performances weren't great. And then more recently, they'd switched around, and he wouldn't be scoring, but everything else he'd be doing, and he'd just not be. We wouldn't be creating enough opportunities for him. And I think we saw. I think the tactics helped us against Huddersfield. I think against Huddersfield in the cup, we kind of noticed that away against them in the league, when we were trying to dominate possession and break them down, we found it very difficult to do because of the way David Wagner had them set up. So we let them have the ball a little bit more, hit them on the break, and we were playing off Romelu Lukaku, who was dropping to the halfway line, using his strength, bringing someone else into play and spinning and going. And that's how both of his goals came. And those are the kind of areas we need to get him in. We don't give him the ball going forward towards goal enough. It's always back to goal. And then the second ball doesn't come. And then it's probably fair to say as well, when you're playing with some wingers like Martial, who, he's not the kind of guy that constantly has his head up looking to pass to someone. If you're playing with, Sanchez, who does lose the ball quite a lot, although he's trying to make things happen while he does that, it must be quite frustrating for Romelu Lukaku. So I think we need to play to his strengths a little bit more. And someone was comparing him to Drogba the other day on Twitter, and I commented that Drogba moved to Chelsea when he was 26. 26, Drogba moved to Chelsea. He'd been playing for Marseille and all that then. Romelu Lukaku's 24 years old. This is his first season at Manchester United. If he was a young English lad, we'd be saying give him time. And I think we need to give him time. This is his first season for the biggest club in the world. He's not played for a club like ours before. Let's give him a little time. He's likely to hit 30 goals this season. I think we looked at last season how difficult it's been for United strikers to hit 30 goals, and he'd join an exclusive club if that happens. So
isn't this crazy that we're even considering that he's not a success and he's probably going to hit 30 goals? Ronaldo and Messi have changed the game so much that scoring 30 goals is no longer considered an incredible achievement. Because 30 goals is an incredible achievement. I remember going to the 90s when we get 18 goals and stuff, and that was our leading scorer.
I think most United fans appreciate it. I think there's the odd few that get sucked into this. His first touch, and no, his crap, and all, like that's so easy and lazy. Like I think most United fans appreciate him. I think it's easy to get caught up in what's going on Twitter every now and then.
I don't like the argument either about the mention that he's not scored against the top six. United haven't won it against any of the top six because we haven't turned up against any of the top six. I mean, as a team,
that's exactly it. Like, obviously, there's room for improvement with Lukaku, right? He could use his physicality better. He could be more involved in games. He could take his chances better, make more threatening runs, and so on and so forth. Execute better. But at the same time, like, he's playing in a side that against the top six, like you say, Steve, aren't really bothered, looking for a 0-0, happy to get a 0-0, aren't really going to push for anything more, and that's not going to suit his style of football. Like, you almost think if he'd gone to Chelsea, it would have been like much more his kind of play, because Chelsea would have whipped the crosses in, he would have had lots of chances. Whereas at United, okay, that's what United should be doing, but under Mourinho, it's not necessarily what United are doing. I mean, I think definitely the missing out on Perisic really has affected Lukaku negatively, because in terms of crosses, he's relying on Valencia, and that's about it, really. Young occasionally shows up with a real beauty, but not consistently. And then Shaw has only just started to play well. Yeah. So his supply line, as I said, is not anywhere near what it should be. But so it's hard to really criticise him, in terms of any sort of way, because he should do better, but also United as a whole should do much better, frankly, by him.
Right, there was a time when, there was a time when we actually judged players when they reached the peak.
We need instant answers and we need instant comparisons. This is the internet age. This is what we have to do. We have to rank them. We have to give you the top 5. And if they're not in there, then they're absolutely garbage. Right, we're going to cut to a commercial break. There we go. Go buy some of that or whatever. Right, we've got some comments from you guys at home as well, so I'm going to read some of those out. Football Forever says, Pogba needs to step up. Martial play too lazy.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah. No, not really. Pogba needs help as well. Pogba could do better, a lot better, especially when imposing himself on games. He's got the ability to do it, but at the same time, Mourinho should not be playing as a defensive midfielder. You're not going to get the best out of Paul Pogba there.
He's
not
playing as a defensive midfielder, though.
No.
Jose lied
I
when he said that he played him in a 4-3-3. He
I know.
lied.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I know he's got a different remit to match when they both play as the two deep in a 4-2-3-1, but it's still playing in a 4-2-3-1. Like he should be playing in a 4-3-3 with, it's like people compare. Like obviously, I think Mourinho looks at him like he's a Busquets or a McKola type, but he's more like Iniesta. I know he's 6'4", but he's more like Iniesta. Like he drifts forward. He can play a bit deeper, sure. He can tackle. He can take care of things. But defensively, he lets guys run behind him a lot. There's a lot of space in behind him a lot, kind of like Toni Kroos actually. But when he's on the ball, he's superb. But you need to free him up to sort of do what Real Madrid do or Barcelona do with those players, Kroos and Iniesta. They let them go. They obviously there's responsibilities they have, but by and large, when they have the ball, they're allowed to move forward. There's always two guys behind them, and that's transformative for them because it means that they have an extra safety net, and it lets them move forward into the areas where they can influence the game the most. Now, Pogba's never going to reach the level of Kroos and Iniesta if United don't give him that platform. He has the talent to do it, no question about it. He has the physical skill set, it's the technical skill set, it's the mental skill set. We've seen this guy dominate Champions League semi-finals. We've seen him play well in Champions League final. We've seen him. He can out muscle players. He can out skill players. He can do almost everything. United just have to give him the platform to do it. Simple as that.
Ian says, I would be happy with a draw at least. I think people forget that a draw away in a knockout stage of a Champions League is actually a decent result, especially a score draw.
It's not bad.
RJB says, we need to play the right players in the right positions to win any cup. I don't think there's anyone going to argue with that, my mate. Rishi says, we have a really good chance of winning the FA Cup. If Rochdale do one over Spurs, then it's only Chelsea. Look, Spurs are going to Spurs it, so I would not even care if Spurs are in there. Bring them on.
Relying on Rochdale.
Antonio says, United can't win the Champions League over City, PSG, Barca, Liverpool, Spurs, Real and Bayern. Well, luckily, he says Bayern, actually.
They're good, then.
A lot of them are going to play against each other. So we don't have to beat all of those. We don't have to beat a couple of those, maybe. Maybe not even any of those. Maybe not even any of those to get through, actually. Maybe they all get knocked out by somebody else. Could happen.
Can I just go back to the Pogba thing? It was the first time I've ever actually agreed with Roy Keane. I mean, he is playing in the midfield. It is his preferred position. He's not playing, winger or anything like that. He should be able to establish himself. He's world class. So,
right, but on that, Roy Keane couldn't play in a midfield three with Veron and Scholes. And when you look at that on paper, you go, whoa, that's a midfield. Them three should be able to play as a midfield three, but Roy Keane himself couldn't even do it. He only really worked in a midfield two. And later in his career, Paul Scholes couldn't play in a midfield two. He would absolutely get overrun and only really worked in a midfield
I don't
three.
think that's because of Roy Keane, though.
No,
I think Roy Keane could play in a midfield three.
Well, Manchester United didn't work, and we didn't get the best results when we had a midfield three.
I do agree with the fact that I agree with those people that say, Paul Pogba, play in the position that you're played in and do the job you're asked to do, because most likely it's only temporarily. Do you know what I mean? Like, we need to get through these few months. Like, I can see that side of the argument, but then I can also see the side of the argument where I would put myself in Paul Pogba's boots and have this kind of arrogance of like, who the fuck are you playing me defensive midfield? And it's affecting Matic's performances, which are defensively. It's affecting Pogba's performances and affecting our team performances. So I think it comes to a point where Jose Mourinho's stubbornness has to just give way. He said after the Newcastle game, we did play a 4-3-3. We clearly didn't play a 4-3-3 against them. I don't know why is he trying to lie to everyone. And then against Huddersfield, when Pogba's not there, we play a 4-3-3. I'm hoping that's a sign that we're moving towards that. But
we're going to get into the start 11 in a sec. Let me just finish off the comments that we've had from everybody else. So Paranjit says, not going to win the Champions League with a midfield two, a point everyone has just been sort of making here. And Ben Richardson says, can Sanchez play in the Champions League? Yes, he can, because Arsenal are busy on a Thursday night. So he's eligible to play for us in the Champions League going forward. Right then, so we're going to get into the starting 11s. Now, last time Mo was on, Mo nailed an absolutely perfect 11. This has been his only appearance this season.
That's why we ain't invited him back again.
So he's 11 out of 11 so far. Can he do it twice? Can lightning strike twice? Can he get 22 out of 22? We'll buy him a mint arrow if he does.
22.
So we might as well start with Mo. You are
All right.
you are the guy that's nailed it in your last appearance. I guess it's only fair that you go with it this time. So tell us what this start 11 is going to be tomorrow.
Well, Big Dave's in goal, obviously. Bring him back for the big games. Mourinho said Valencia has a chance to make it, and given that Valencia is a man made of steel, I assume Valencia will make it, run through fire for you, that kind of guy. Eric B is back. Eric B is president. Eric B is in defense. Everything's good. And then next to him, Rojo's probably not going to make it. Jones is not going to make it. Smalling or Lindelof, I think he'll go with Smalling because he's tall. That's just Mourinho style. Shaw left back, because I just think Shaw is Shaw's proving himself to Mourinho, and I think he's going to be like, all right, fair enough, you have a go. You have a go. And I just think Ashley Young in the Champions League, away from home, he's going to go 4-2-3-1 because he's Jose Mourinho, that's what he does, and also because Ander Herrera's not really 100%, and Fellaini's not there, and Pogba's not there, whatever. McTominay and Matic, I think he's going to give the boy more burn. McTominay's not the greatest, but he works hard, does his job. Mourinho loves that sort of thing, and he's tall, which again Mourinho loves. Up front, the three behind the striker, you got Martial on the right, which shouldn't be on the right, but he's going to be on the right. Jesse Lingard number 10, because Jesse Lingard, man, what can you say? Alexis on the left, even though I would swap Alexis and Martial myself, but he's not going to. And then up front, big man, Romelu Lukaku.
There's a glaring omission from your starting 11 here. Where's Pogba?
He's not going to make it, mate. He won't make it.
What do you mean he's not going to make it?
I guarantee you, Mourinho's not going to have him in the team. He'll be like, oh, he couldn't make it. He wasn't well. Because he's been very. I don't know if he's going to make it or not. I don't think he will.
I think that was just him being I want to talk about the players that are here kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
I would be very surprised if Pogba doesn't play. McKola, do you want to give us your starting 11, please? I agree with what Mo was saying there, though. We've got to stop trying to put Martial on the right. We've got to play to his strengths, and I think Sanchez would work on the right. I don't know why we haven't tried that yet.
So I keep saying it. Sanchez scored most of his goals for Arsenal from the right, so
I'm
don't
not sure
understand.
that's entirely correct.
Sanchez is at his best for Chile on the right. At his best.
Yes.
It is correct. I just said it. It's correct, isn't it? It's on the internet. It's correct. Yeah. And if it wasn't on the internet, it is now. So shut up. De Gea. Am I giving my team? Sorry.
Yeah, mate. That's what you're doing. Yeah.
Scott. De Gea, Valencia, Bailey, Smalling, Shaw. This is what I want, not what I expect to see. Matic, Pogba, Herrera, Alexis, Lukaku, Martial. That's my team, 4-3-3. I'm hoping Herrera and Valencia are back and available for selection. I wouldn't pick Smalling myself personally, but he's going to get selected. I would pick Luke Shaw, but I think we'll see Ashley Young. I'm just sitting top of the league. I can afford to take these risks now.
Can we just put Adam's team back on a second so I can just have a look at that? I like the midfield. I think that is arguably our best midfield if we're able to get it fit. All right, you can put it off. I think Herrera, he mentioned as might make it in the same vein as, I think he said Rashford, Valencia and Herrera was the three that might make it. I hope he makes it because that is our strongest midfield. I would be surprised, though, to be honest, if he does go with a midfield three, if he goes with that much of an attacking three. I wouldn't be shocked to see Mata on the right or Lingard on the right, in all honesty, for the defensive attributes that they bring and the grafting between the lines a little bit, and maybe leave the pure attacking to Sanchez and Lukaku, which I think would really work. Go on.
Just to cut you, as we're live, we may as well have some live breaking news.
Oh.
Pogba and Ibrahimovic are training with the rest of the United squad today at Carrington, so Pogba's likely there to be available.
Oh well, ruins my team.
Today before flying. What we're going to do? Fly tonight? We're flying tonight.
They fly tonight, yeah.
3-hour flight.
He trained on Sunday anyway, so I'm not shocked if he does make it. Right, Scott, give us your starting 11, please, my mate.
I think Jose's going to boil a lot of piss, personally. I think he's going to go with 4-2-3-1. I've gone De Gea, Valencia, Shaw at left back, He has to play Bailey. He's our only world-class centre-half. I'd like us to play Lindelof, but we're going to play Smalling. I know
See,
we're
I
going
think
to
this
do
is
that.
really interesting. All of you have gone with the exact same back line there, and you've all used Smalling and all grudgingly picked Smalling as well.
Yeah.
Why don't you think he's going to pick Lindelof?
Because I just think he's still, because it's his first year, Lindelof. I mean, I'll say this: I've seen Lindelof a lot. I watch him for Sweden as well. The guy is going to be class. Believe me. In a couple of years' time, we're going to be raving on about this guy for years. He's unbelievable on the ball. Big, strong, powerful. This kid he's the real deal. But I just think right now he's just a bit early. But believe me, he's going to be the real. You should have seen him against Italy. Unbelievable performance. But But Smalling, no, he's not good. I think Smalling will be at Arsenal next year.
Hope so.
Give us your midfield then, Scott.
I reckon he's going to play Pogba and Matic as defensive midfielders. Like I said, to boil the piss.
I think the graphic we've got is a little bit different, but go on, carry on.
Yeah, but and I will play. I think he'll have Lingard, just ahead of the two of them, and I think he's going to play Mata on the right because it's Spain and he wants someone really just to keep hold of the ball, have a bit of control. He'll play Sanchez on the left. And I'll have Lukaku up front, and then we'll have all the Martial fanboys screaming Jose out, and I think that's how it's going to roll.
I will be the first one to tweet that.
Yes.
I think that formation, and though that team at least has got a decent chance of being in, I just hope he doesn't play 4-3-3. It's just 4-2-3-1. It really doesn't suit us. Right, let's talk about Sevilla then. So, what do you know about them? Who do we need to be looking out for? Scott, I'm going to come straight back to you on this one.
Yeah, I actually watched them play Las Palmas. I watched the whole game.
How bad are Las Palmas, by the way? Are they the worst football team in existence?
They were unbelievably poor, but I'll tell you what, they were unlucky to lose that game. They should have scored in the last minute with a beautiful lob. I will say this. Sevilla they're very poor, but they're frustrating. They dive an awful lot. And obviously, within their stadium, it's going to be a completely different atmosphere. That Ben Yedder, he's pretty good. And Zonzi, we know about him. You know, he's bound to play above his expectations. But I didn't rate Sevilla at all based on that performance. But like I said, it was just the whole game, they were just falling over the floor. It was like Dele Alli. Just basically 90 minutes of him doing his impressions. But, like I said, from what I saw, I didn't really rate them that highly, and I would be shocked if we don't come away with a win.
Mo, what do you think we need to be looking out for from them tactically?
Can I just interrupt though? Sorry, just one sec. They have won 12, lost 9. They're fifth. But that's another thing about them. They're very 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. They're not Unai Emery's Sevilla that won the Europa League 3 years in a row. They're not even, they're coming down. They're not as good as they were. They've got more holes in the team than they used to. They haven't got Monchi anymore, transfer genius, obviously. Nzonzi is a key man at base midfield. He's going to play around. Ever Banega's been training with the team. He's back. He's their key playmaker. Like, he's their Pogba, their Xavi, whatever you want to call it. He's got the most passes completed in La Liga this season. He's got the most key passes completed as well. He's a real chance creator. We need to look for, in terms of United, we need to look out for Franco Vasquez and Pablo Sarabia, attacking midfielders / wingers. They're going to run the break. They're going to be the threat man. Obviously, Ben Yedder up front is a goal scorer. Look, they're playing much better now under Montella. They were really bad the first half of the season, and they just sort of kept winning games anyway, getting results somehow. But they weren't very good. They're better now. They're still not really back to their peak, but they're better now than they were. They've got some danger men. Pablo Sarabia can really cause United problems. So can Franco Vasquez, who's just been incredible. If Tucu Correa, if he's fit, he's a doubt. He's an injury doubt. But if he's fit, he's a dribbling machine. He's absolutely phenomenal. Those 3 players could really cause United some problems on the break. Yeah, United should have too much for Sevilla, really, quality-wise. If United, as long as Mourinho doesn't go there looking for a 0-0 and then suddenly get caught unawares by Sevilla up in the tempo second half or something, which I can see happening. United should have way too much quality for Sevilla and be able to win, even though Sevilla in the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan are really good and the atmosphere is intense. Like it's probably the best atmosphere I've seen in all of Europe. Really, it's really, really, really incredible. It's a wonderful little stadium.
You've not
Wonderful
been to
atmosphere.
Wigan on a Monday night, mate.
Mo, what's your thoughts on how they're going to set up against us? Because I see these as a team that actually doesn't really care for major league amounts of possession. I think they're a team that are going to try and play on the counter. Do you think they're going to try and play on the counter at home against us?
No, look, they'll use the ball well when they have it, but yeah, they'll be happy to sort of let United have it and then just break in a 4-2-3-1. Like I said, Franco Vasquez is going to be the key guy playing at the heart of number 10 role. And then they've got Sarabia. They might have Nolito, might have Tuchel Correa. We'll see which one it is. And then up front, Ben Yedder. So it's the key. They can play the ball. This is the thing. They're not necessarily going to be like, we have to dominate the ball. But if United let them have it, they'll pass it around. They will use it very well. Nzonzi's a great midfielder, a great passer of the ball, very, very in control. And then, of course, as we know, Banega is just phenomenal. They're both really, really good passers. So, they're not necessarily going to look to dominate. It's not like Barcelona or something. They're going to insist on domination of the ball. But if United give it to them, they can use it very well. So, it might want to be a bit wary. It's not the kind of team you want to just say, go on and let them just do their thing. Unless United are very confident in their ability to counter-attack, of course. I mean, we'll see. Could be kind of Arsenal. Maybe.
Mac, what's your thoughts on Sevilla? How are we going to get over it?
I haven't watched them a lot recently. I know they've won their last 3 league games, but I did watch their both legs against Atletico Madrid in the Copa del Rey, and they won both of those games, winning 5-2 over both legs. And that's no mean feat against a very, very good Atletico Madrid side. And they started the likes of Griezmann in both games. I know a few players were rested for both teams, but it was a very good performance over 2 legs against a side that have got to the latter stages of the Champions League. Then you're looking at a team that are used to getting to finals of European competitions. So I don't think we can take these guys for granted. I'm not feeling as confident for this fixture, the away leg, as both of these guys are, although I am confident overall. To be honest, I'd take a score draw going there now, in the form that we're in and with the results that we're coming into it off. But Sevilla are a team that, if we allow them to play, if we let their good players have time, and of course they're going to punish us. If we don't switch on defensively, of course they're going to punish us. But as for a draw in terms of the Champions League and what teams are available, I think we've got a good draw, and it's a draw we should be expecting to go through on. But yeah, let's not take them for granted. Is the main.
Give us your score prediction then for this game.
1-0 Will Grigg got the ticks. Come on!
Mo, give us a score prediction.
I reckon 2-1 Sevilla. I think United score early and it's like a shock, and then they just happily sit back on that and don't really do anything with it when they should push forward and kill the game off. I think Sevilla scored 2 goals late on with the crowd just going mental.
They're going to beat us 2-1.
Yeah. United to win. United to win at Old Trafford. They'll get the win and progress. But I just think they'll score early and Mourinho will be like, right, that's it, mate. 1-0 away from home. We'll sit on that. The 2-1 loss is still a decent away result, but I just think Mourinho's going to get in his own way too much, man.
Scott, give me something better than that.
I'm not going to do my usual 5-0. 2-0.
Right.
I think we'll win 2-0. I think we'll...
2-0 would be a phenomenal result. Yeah. Right. Mo, can we tell people where they can find your work?
On Twitter at Mohammed Butt and on Facebook at Mohammed Butt. So, same place.
Make sure you can give them a follow. Scott, what's your Twitter handle this week?
Oh, God, this week, yeah. Lord Scott Lindquist, yeah. I'll probably have a new one next week.
Make sure you go and subscribe to Adam's channel on YouTube. And if you're throwing out subscribes, come subscribe to mine on there as well. Just search our names, you'll find us. Thank you guys for watching. And you know what? If you're new around here, you've made it all the way to the end of the video, then you can subscribe and make this number go up as well. Because we're heading for 500,000. And Adam's shaving his beard off when we do. I'm not sure he knows about that yet. So come and subscribe. And we will see you in the next one. We are... What? We will see you tomorrow with all the coverage around the Sevilla game. Let's hope that we get a decent result over there in Spain. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you then. Laters.
Nice.